Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, and this is the Indigi P1 Pro. I was very excited about this device when I first ordered it, and I was really looking forward to doing a bunch of coverage about it, but unfortunately, Indigi has lied about every major specification of this phone on their Amazon listing, and this phone really is not good at all. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what specifications they promised this phone would have and what the truth is. So enjoy the video. So several days ago, someone in the Kevin Breeze Tech Community group on Facebook, which is my group, so make sure to join that because it's really awesome. We have tons of great conversations over there, suggested that I check out the Indigi P1 Pro. The reason for that is because this device allegedly features a bunch of really great specifications for the low price tag of $129.99. Now, I'm always really excited to receive suggestions on different devices I should cover. So for those of you who are watching this video, definitely continue to make those suggestions. But this phone is definitely an example of a device that I'm actually glad I ordered and I've gotten here in my office, because now the rest of you know that you shouldn't buy this phone. So just a heads up, this is pretty much the only video I'm going to be making about this phone. Maybe I'll make some sort of follow-up based off the feedback I receive. But I'm going to be returning this later on today and sending it back and getting a full refund from Amazon. Now I understand that it's really hard for Amazon to vet all of their sellers because they have so many different sellers. But definitely having a company like this sell their products on Amazon with false specifications all throughout the listing hurts all of the other honest smartphone sellers on the platform. So they list a bunch of really good specifications on their listing, but these are the main highlights. They claim that the phone has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, a fingerprint unlock in the display, in addition to having one on the back, Android 9.1 Pie, a 2560 by 1600 pixel QHD screen, 12 megapixel rear cameras, and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. Now they also claim that this phone works with GSM carriers in the US. To be honest, after seeing how much they've lied about these specifications, I'm really not interested in putting my SIM card in this phone to try that out, just because I do not trust this company at this point. But for $129.99, getting these kind of specifications is an amazing deal. Now I know that some of you who are watching this video will mention that I shouldn't be surprised that this phone doesn't actually have these specifications, considering how low of a price tag it is. And that's true, that's a good point. Maybe if they're more honest about the specifications that this device actually has, $129.99 would still be a decently reasonable price. But the point is that they've straight up lied about the specifications that this device features, and because of that, I don't think you can really trust anything from this company. Especially since your phone handles some of your most sensitive information, such as, of course, your phone calls, text messages, emails, pictures, web browsing history. And because of that, it's really important to trust the company behind the device that you're using. So the first thing I noticed when I first unboxed this device are the icons on the home screen here. This looks like straight up Android from several years ago. You don't see icons like this anymore, especially on Pi. Now, just because it has older looking icons does not necessarily mean that this device runs an older version of Android, and it's definitely possible that they just included an older icon pack and an older outdated launcher. So then from there, I went over to the settings. I went down to About Phone to see what specifications they mention here in the About Phone section. So in this section, it says that the device runs Android 9.1. So based on this, you would definitely think it does run Pi. Even the Easter egg here is there on the phone. And then you can see here that they do have the advertised screen resolution mentioned here in the About Phone section. I'll tell you what though, if you look really closely at the display, you can definitely tell that this is certainly not a QHD display. And when the display itself is off, it looks really low end. I mean, there's nothing premium about this display. Now let's continue further down. They mention the DDR, which is the RAM. It says 6 gigabytes. And then storage, 128 gigabytes. Now we'll go back here. We'll go to the actual storage section on the phone. So storage and USB. And you can see even here it says 128 gigabytes of total space. Now, in case you're not aware, by just doing some modifications to the software, OEMs can spoof this information. Just because this is what it says doesn't mean it's actually the case. And because of that, that's why I downloaded this application called CPU-X. Essentially what this application does is that it actually looks at the real hardware on the phone and gives you that information. So let's check this out and see what the true specifications of the Indigi P1 Pro are. We'll start out with the CPU. It has the MT6735P processor. Now they were kind of vague about what processor is included with the phone. It was barely mentioned on the actual listing itself. But this is the real processor that the device features. Now we'll go back here. We'll go to System. And this is where the real juicy stuff is. So you can see that the resolution is 540 by 1140. So it's less than 720p. So definitely not QHD. The density is 240 ppi. Now here, this is really sad that they lied about this. The actual operating system on the phone is Android 6.0 Marshmallow. So that is a very old version of Android. And honestly, I'm kind of confused why this doesn't actually have Pie. It seems like it'd be a lot easier for them just to do things the right way and include Android 9 Pie, but nope, this device runs Marshmallow. We'll go down here to the RAM. You can see that this phone only has 1.9 gigabytes of RAM, so I'll round that up and say that it has 2 gigs of RAM. So instead of the promised 6 gigabytes of RAM, it only has 2. And the internal storage is 26.05. So that's way different from the 128 gigabytes of storage that they claim this phone has. So another lie. Now let's go over to the camera. So on the back here, they have 3 camera modules. But based on CPU-X, they only have 1 camera on the back, and it's only 4.9 megapixels. So I don't know if these 2 other cameras are false or fake. I guess they are, especially because when I went into the camera app itself, I couldn't find any indication that this phone features any sort of portrait mode or anything like that. It seems like we only have 2 options here, to record video and just take a photo. You can do panoramic, there's beauty mode. I don't see any evidence of portrait mode or a wide angle or anything that would take advantage of the 2 other camera modules here. You can also see that when I tilt this device into the light here, you can see that the top camera looks different. You can see kind of like a reddish dot in the middle, which probably means that this is the real camera. You can see that these 2 other modules on the bottom here don't show anything, and they look a lot different, which makes me think that definitely this one is real and these 2 are fake. And I have no idea what this dot is on the bottom. As for the front-facing camera, instead of the promised 8 megapixels, we get 2.1 megapixels. So pretty bad there. Now I don't even remember what they promised for the port on the bottom, but it is micro USB on the bottom. The only good thing about this phone maybe is the color. I think this blue color looks pretty nice. But oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let me show you the other lie about this phone. So very clearly on the listing, on Amazon, they show that this phone has an in-screen fingerprint sensor. But there is no indication of there being an in-screen fingerprint sensor. The one on the back works, it's fine. Works really well, or decently well, I guess. But there is no in-screen fingerprint sensor. I don't see it anywhere. I went over to the settings here, and when you go to security, and you look at the different options to lock the phone, I don't see anything that indicates that there is an in-screen fingerprint sensor on this phone. So there certainly is not one. And I would be shocked if it had one anyway, because of how low quality this display is, and of course how everything else has been a lie on this device. But so there is no in-screen fingerprint sensor. Ironically though, when you get the little like plastic screen protector on here, it has like a in-screen fingerprint icon to make you think that there would be one on here, but there is not. Another thing just to mention too is that this device came in a padded envelope, which is fine, but they also have this priority mail envelope as dunnage that they used as packing material, and they wrapped it around the box to kind of like protect the box in transit. Now this is not lawful. You're not allowed to take priority mail packaging from the post office and just use it as packing material. They have these out at the post office so that you can use this to actually ship with USPS. But this phone was sent through FedEx. So that is another big no-no by Indigi. And if companies like Indigi keep doing this, then the USPS is going to have to start charging for this packing material. So shame on you, Indigi. So in addition to this device being for sale on Amazon, it's also for sale on a variety of other retailers. You can also get this at Walmart. I even saw Sears has it listed for sale in their online store. Not sure who buys through there anymore. But this really shouldn't be for sale on any store. At least not with these fraudulent specifications. They need to be giving out the real specs for this device. And I'd imagine that if they were advertising this phone as having Android Marshmallow, nobody would actually buy it. So that's why they have to lie. So my recommendation is stay away from this phone and stay away from all future products from Indigi. There's no reason to patronize a company that lies and has to be deceptive to sell crappy smartphones. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to make a donation to the work that I do, because it does cost money to buy these devices. Now I know I'm going to be returning this, so I should really be getting all of my money back. But if you'd like to make a donation, then feel free to send me a donation at kevin@kevinbreeze.com on PayPal. Always appreciated, but never expected. But definitely, like any donations I get, that money will just go towards buying more devices to feature on here for both informative and entertaining content to all of you. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this phone. I'll probably be making maybe a follow-up video after this, but I am definitely returning this phone today so I can get my money back and spend that money on legitimate smartphones from good and honest sellers. But let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.